the number one energy and awareness that humans have been taught to shun, taught to resist, taught to fear, and ultimately run from is our own power. Why? For the most part, humans have been taught to judge. We've been taught to feel jealousy. We've been taught to look for comparisons. We've been taught to need and want them to prove themselves to us so that we know they're still pure. Every single one of these facts is based in control and manipulation. And this goes for almost everything. This goes for the medical system. This goes for the judicial systems, the rules. They're just like, they're showing me the police, like the whole organized, it's like organized crime. And yet it has become the foundation of fact-based existence. And what they're saying is this is about to crumble. What's really happening is the illusion is unraveling. It's like the creator there's one thread that has created this entire stream of manipulation and control over human existence, and the creator has pulled it. And it's unraveling. He's not interested in participating in this experience anymore. 98.9% of humans are not doing what they're meant to be doing. You're living in a world where you're walking this tightrope. Most of your focus is on who you need to be on a daily basis. And sometimes it's shifting from minute to minute, hour to hour, depending on who you're with and who you're having a conversation with. And what the creator is saying is, that's what we're shifting to. That's what we have to. It's not about bringing the past forward. It's about understanding and recognizing that our potential is waiting. Your potential is waiting for you, should you choose to participate. Welcome back to the Authentic Human Podcast. I'm Michelle Vickers. Today is part 49 of the story of creation. I'm a little excited because 49 is already here in just 6 months. We've come a long way, and we've shared a lot of wisdom and a lot of information. And I just want to reiterate that these episodes are recorded live in front of an audience. And it's me having real conversations with universal beings in real time. So none of this is planned, none of it's scripted, which is why sometimes it's a little awkward, but that's okay. It's what makes it even better. And the whole point is uncovering more of the truth of you, who you are and why you exist, why humanity exists, right? And what we were created for. And what they're showing me even right now, like I've got some angelics here. Jesus is here. There's other, Pan is here. There's lots of universal beings today. So, and now I'm shaking a little bit. So that's great. Because it usually means that there's, an information that they're about to share is going to change the way I see the world, which that's why I know I'm shaking, because it means that I'm going to have to choose to see a truth of existence that I haven't yet wanted to see. Not for lack of trying, it's just because it hasn't come into my awareness. And so that's really what the journey of truth is about, is recognizing that it's never going to end. It's part of why we're here, right? That's evolution. Is every single time you expand your awareness, you become more of who you have the potential to be. And that's what we're doing right now, right? As a human race, we are restoring our capacity to feel right now. That's the most important thing that you can do for yourself, but also that you can do for humanity, because we have strategically been trained to not only forget how to feel, but to forget that we can feel. And we've been trained to think that feelings are emotions and that emotions are how we need to act and react to the world around us. And this is what's coming full circle, right? This is, they're showing me like in the first 48 episodes and parts of this story of creation, we have been revealing truths about the past as it relates to your current situation. And the reason the creator is saying it in this way is because we're about to embark on the future. Okay. And we're about to become aware of existence from a perspective of future potential, which we haven't actually done yet. But he wants you to understand, he wants you to begin to recognize that what has been laid as the foundation in the first 48 parts were to prepare you ultimately with an acceptance of self. Okay. That's what every single episode has been about, strategically aligning you with self-recognition, with recognition of the human race itself. Why is this so important? Because humanity as a whole has been manipulated in a way that it erased the purity of intention. So the reason he's sharing this in this way, right, in the way he says that, erase the purity of intention. So the manipulation was successful. And we're using that word successful very loosely. That's what he says. But it was successful. So what he means by successful is it's been able to be continued as a result of disassociation with purity. Okay. And what he means by that is purity is, it's a recognition of your own existence. Purity is an understanding of, yes, your potential, but you can't understand your potential if you don't recognize and understand your existence. And so this is what we're going to start to work on now. And this is how he's saying it, is recognition of existence as a human, as a soul. Okay. Is the next phase of this unfolding, if you will. And what's going to happen from here on out in the story of creation is we're going to layer the awareness of self in a way that we haven't done before, because humanity has been taught to not like shun it is the words that they're using, but the energy, right? It's like, and the number one energy and awareness that humans have been taught to shun, taught to resist, taught to fear, and ultimately run from is our own power. So you've been taught strategically to fear your energy and your power. Why? Well, number one, think about someone, think about someone in the last few years who has started to come into their power, or who has come into their power, and they start to share from that place. What's your reaction? Okay. For the most part, humans have been taught to judge that experience. We've been taught to feel jealousy. We've been taught to look for comparisons. Again, comparisons is judgment. We've been taught to need and want them to prove themselves to us, so that we know they're still pure. Okay? Here's the reality. Purity, right? Truth, purity and truth go hand in hand. And proving is not pure. And I know that you may think your energy is pure in intention when you see someone recognizing their own power. But I want you to now feel into the second part of this, which is when you feel, even in the first 49 parts of this story, they've asked you to feel the energy. They've asked you to recognize your own awareness, your capacity for awareness itself. Forget even what you're going to do with it, okay? But just your capacity for feeling energy. Because that capacity is what ignites your power to create impact in the world. Okay? Because what happens is when you feel a frequency and vibration, an energetic frequency and vibration, okay, your vibration changes and then you're broadcasting something different. This is energy 101, universal energy 101. The challenge is it's like, sorry, just for a minute, but it's like 5 different messages, or all of these different awarenesses are all coming in at the same time. And it's really exciting because there's so much to share, but it's also like, okay, hold on, guys. You can't, I can't talk about 5 different things at the same time. It's only one of me. And I know that we're talking about energy and you're supposed to feel it, but holy moly. Okay. So the first thing they want to talk about specifically and strategically is understanding that the science behind energy is off. It's wrong. And it's not, okay. So first and foremost, it's strategically wrong. Okay. They've designed methods that undermine your instincts and your intentions. Okay. Why would they do that? Why would science not want you to feel? Why would science not want you to recognize your instincts and your capacity to change an experience simply by changing your intention? Because your intention, remember, we go back to the original intention of existence and how things are created, right? It's intention becomes energy, becomes experience. If it's that true and it is that simple, you can create anything you want. So why aren't you? This is what they're saying. Because you fear needing to prove yourself, you are consistently judging yourself against others. So you're comparing what you're capable of, what you should be doing. All of those, the guilt streams that come in, the things that make you second guess yourself. But more importantly, what they're showing me, what the understanding is that there's enough belief systems in your mind, okay, that they've created a fortress, literally a fortress against you being willing to share the feelings of your soul with other humans. Whether you are using words to share those feelings or not, you're not even willing to feel them yourself, because the moment you feel them, you naturally transcend and you broadcast those feelings out into the world. Why don't we do that? Because it keeps us open. We become pure. When you become an expression of pure vibration, okay, you become open to all things. Do you know the word that people use most commonly for this is the word empath? And they've decided that being an empath is bad. When being empathetic is one of your greatest gifts and your greatest value to humanity. but you have to be able to use it. Okay? Empathy and the ability to feel energy, we were created that way. Every single human in existence is designed to fuel your life and your experiences with energy, which is empathy. That's feeling energy. Okay? Why? If someone's coming at you and their energy is negative, your job isn't to block them out or shut them off. Your job is to go, okay, the universe is showing me something here. It's showing me about something about myself, about who I'm being. It's showing me about who this person's being. And it's showing me who I'm meant to be in the world. That's it. Not because someone's telling you how to be, but because the energy is telling you. If someone's coming at you with anger and resentment and jealousy and judgment, they don't want you to stop being you. They want you to recognize that somebody's coming at you with anger and judgment and jealousy, and sometimes even the intention to cause harm, because that's what we're escalating to, right? You can see right now, they said 2025 is going to be the most challenging year of human existence. It is escalating in a way I have never, ever seen it. People are treating other people with more judgment and intent to cause harm mentally, emotionally, and physically than ever before. And it's a result of the deepest fears of self-recognition coming out. People are going to start to see who you're being. Why? Because it's never been hidden. We just believed it was. And all of those who are angry are the ones who want to stay hidden. They want to keep their story hidden. They want to keep the parts of them that are angry, that are resentful, hidden. And here's the thing. Your job isn't to help them. That's not your job. Your job is to become who you're meant to be in any given situation. How do you do that? By following the energy. Period. When you feel into and it takes seconds, you don't have to, it's not like 2 minutes, you're going to sit there and you're going to, take all this time to figure out. So you're putting yourself potentially in harm's way. No, energy is instantaneous and it is always there. If that person is intending to cause you harm, mentally, physically, or emotionally, it's time to get out of that situation. Just walk away in whatever way gets you out. But that being said, it's also about recognition that if that person has the potential for change, if they're ready to change, the energy will show you. It will show you. Because even if there's anger coming out, if their energy is open and there's even a bit of purity in there, it means you have the potential to have a conversation. But if your intention is, I'm going to fix this person, I'm going to change this person, or I'm going to help this person, you cannot create any change. I know that is tricky and it goes against our whole belief system, but our belief system as humans is broken. That's the part that's wrong, is that humans are wrong, humans are broken, right? That we need to put labels on them. And we need to fix them with words. We need to fix them with tools, with systems, because that's not how this works. The Creator wants you to feel, and just, allow yourself right now in this moment to just breathe in this energy, okay? We are here as a human race because we're all connected. We are constantly broadcasting energy to each other, and we are constantly receiving it. You are an energetic satellite. You pick up every frequency and vibration in existence. Whatever you focus on will be the greatest and will be the loudest. It's not about deciding what comes in and what doesn't come in. It's about allowing yourself to recognize that the energy that is speaking the loudest is the one you're meant to pay attention to. Now, this is where it differs from our human side, our human aspects of existence, where the loudest person wins. The person who's the meanest, the person who's the biggest and the scariest, or the person who seems to have the most power wins. That's why they created hierarchies. And this is really important because in existence, there's no such thing as a hierarchy. The whole concept of food chains, it's not real. There's nothing in this. Sorry, I'm just feeling the staggering awareness and all. It's like recognizing it all doesn't exist in this moment for the first time ever is beautiful, but it's also a little bit emotional because you see that there's no such thing as hierarchies. Like even the food chain. It's not. So how we've been designed to see it is the smallest and most insignificant is going to feed the next that's a little bit bigger. And then it's going to feed the next, and it's going to feed the next, and it's going to feed the next. And the creator said, that's not how I created it. Creation is a fine, it's funny. It's like golden nets that are as light as spider web, but they're woven, there's so many of them layered on top of each other, but none of them touch, and yet they all intersect exactly when they need to. And he says, it's not about one feeding another. It's about understanding and recognizing that the foundation of each aspect of existence thrives by supporting another aspect of existence. So it's completely opposite. It thrives by supporting another aspect of existence. They don't help. They don't come to the aid of. They naturally exist to hold a vibration for an aspect of existence. And in doing so, all areas of existence thrive. This is how humans were meant to exist. I'm a little uncomfortable, a little nervous because they're starting to I'm shaking. Okay. So what they're saying is the entire foundation of this scientific community, by scientific community, they mean fact-based evidence. It's not real. And why it's not real is because the physical evidence they're basing their hypotheses on is a result of a lack of awareness and a lack of integrity in taking all aspects of existence into account. And this is where it's about to crumble. Okay. This is where the scientific world is about to crumble in the next 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 9 weeks. And this is being recorded on July 14th, 2025. So what they're saying is in the next 8 to 9 weeks, this aspect of existence is going to crumble. So the concept of having science as the fact-based, it's like an artery, the way they're showing me. It's like the foundation of the rules. It's the foundation of the control and manipulation is all around fact-based, but the facts are wrong. every single one of these facts is based in control and manipulation. And this goes for almost everything. This goes for the medical system. This goes for the judicial the systems, the rules. They're just like, they're showing me the police, like the whole organized, it's like organized crime. And yet it has become the foundation of fact-based or fact-based existence. And what they're saying is this is about to crumble. There's going to be truths that are going to be revealed. So those beings who created this dynamic are about to come forward. And what they mean, what they're showing me is they're going to be more bold than ever. They're going to make claims. They're going to make statements of what's the words they're using? It's like statements of, yeah, it's almost like they're going to come outside of their shells. So these are the not good beings that are here, right? They're not human. They're not souls from this universe. They've come here to manipulate, and they are going to make themselves known in ways that we haven't seen before. Give me a minute, because I want to be as specific as absolutely possible to give you the information that you need so that you can be prepared in a way that helps you stay on your own path through all of this. Okay. So what's really happening is the illusion is unraveling. Okay. We know that. It's not secret. It's why you're here. It's why you've been, following every train of thought that doesn't feel right, for years now. But it's understanding and recognizing that it's like the creator has, there's one thread that has created this entire stream of manipulation and control over human existence, and the creator has pulled it. And it's unraveling because, he's not interested in participating in this experience anymore, right? That's all he has to do. He doesn't have to come out and be dramatic like we think it has to be, right? It's going to be this big, huge announcement. That's not how it works. It unfolds and unravels in a way that reveals truth if you're paying attention, if you're listening. And this is the part that, as humans, has been the most challenging, because going back to what they were talking about right at the beginning, up until now, you need to prove yourself, right? If you feel something, you need to prove it. So you don't want to share it because you're expecting someone's going to need to prove it. Someone's going to need you to prove yourself to them, or they're going to judge you harshly, no matter which side you're on. And we've seen that. We've seen governments, we've seen law enforcement, we've seen them do horrible, horrible things. Some of them not as horrible as others, but some of them all the way up to murder, to make sure that the voice doesn't come out. And what the creator is saying is he just wants us to take a moment right now to reflect on every single human who has lost their life as a result of holding space for truth. He wants you to just feel the energy of those humans for a minute, because their purity spoke in volumes. Every single time a human wanted truth to come out and their voice was covered up, in whichever way, from either taking their families away or all the way up to murder, he wants you to just feel. not because it's about feeling bad for them. It's about recognizing that they all chose to hold the truth as their power. And those who didn't want that to happen, who were intimidated by it, chose to muzzle them or remove them. And what the creator is saying is, it's like, he's like, I just hear this huge roar like a lion. He's like, no more, no more. That's what he's done with. He wants you to feel that not only is this entire universe, so this is not just about Earth, this is not just about this solar system and the planets here. This is about existence itself. This is about you understanding and recognizing that you're meant to feel truth. You're meant to participate in the purity of existence because it is the purest form of existence. It's like a reflection of your soul. It's a reflection of who you're meant to be in the world and what you're meant to be doing. And right now, 98.9% of humans are not doing what they're meant to be doing. They are not living in a world that is free with pure expression. You're living in a world where you're walking this tightrope. Most of your focus is on who you need to be on a daily basis. And sometimes it's shifting from minute to minute, hour to hour, depending on who you're with and who you're having a conversation with. And what the creator is saying is, that's what we're shifting to. That's what we have to. It's not about bringing the past forward. It's about understanding and recognizing that our potential is waiting. Your potential is waiting for you, should you choose to participate. It doesn't mean the truth is, it doesn't mean you won't lose your life. What it does mean is that physical death is inevitable. It's not meant for you at this time. That's why you're here in this moment. But it is understanding and recognizing that the entire universe is on your side. And those who are no longer meant to be here are fighting for their lives. They're the ones fighting for their lives. And you have been living in illusion that you've been fighting for your life. That constant feeling of walking that line, exhausted, worrying about your own fears, your own existence, your own not enoughness. He says that's what's ending because it can't be carried forward because it doesn't really exist. And so the shift right now is about self-recognition, but it is understanding that your foundation for existence is about to change. It's no longer about fact-based solutions. It's about recognition that energy is the most pure and it's like the way they're saying it, it's the most direct route to truth there is. It's more direct than any scientific equation or hypothesis or anything that's been proven to date. Because what the creator is saying is just feel for one moment. Everything that has been proven to date has caused trauma, suffering, and harm. It's not working. And it does not deserve a place in existence itself. And when you're ready to allow yourself to feel the truth of existence, it's going to feel awkward. It's not going to feel right at first. It's going to feel awkward and uncomfortable, but it's not because it's wrong. It's because it's going against everything you've been taught to believe. And the reality is, the truth is always going to feel awkward when you hear it the first time. It's why it makes you uncomfortable. It's why it makes you shake. It's why it makes you nervous. This episode, this experience, you saw me go through that. Not because it's wrong, but because I have to find the courage to hear it and feel it from them. And then I had to find the courage to give it voice to you with all the mental fears based on the beliefs that I've been told. And I had to do that in real time for you. We're all meant to do that right now. This is about your story. This is about you creating a story that ends how you want it to end, instead of perpetuating a story that makes you feel insignificant every single day at any moment. And by insignificant, I mean not fulfilled in any way. Fulfillment is not about how much money you make, how big your house is, how much stuff you have, how many people who like you, support you, love you. Fulfillment is understanding that at the end of each day, you're content with what you experienced. You feel the fullness of who you are and the impact you made in the world that you have. Right? Did you do good enough for you today? Not good enough to get by, but good enough in the sense of, will it make you wake up tomorrow excited for the day? Or could you have done more today? I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. This is going deeper into consciousness and existence, and we're extracting more truth. And I need to know, do you want this to keep going? And, share your stories and your experiences of how this is making you feel and the truths that you're becoming aware of and how it's impacting you, but also how the lies have impacted you and how you're changing as a result. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time for part 50. So excited. Bye for now.
I didn't know if you got anything more than what they said about what's happening in the next 8 to 9 weeks and how that comes tumbling down. And I was just going to ask if you had any more.
They didn't
I
share
had
anything else yet. I do feel like they're going to walk us through this over the next 8 to 9 weeks for sure. This is going to be walk you through it. Serena, I loved that piece where the creator had us feel the energy of those that have lost their lives while holding the space for truth. That was beautiful. I agree. It was recognition of the power that each of us hold, the potential of our power. And that's what he wanted us to feel, right? It wasn't about creating fear. It was about recognition of your power and what it has the capacity to do, right? They take down anyone who steps into their power. Another reason why we don't do it. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this conversation and want to learn more, head on over to michellevickers.com. Join our mailing list to receive new episodes right to your inbox or apply to be a guest on the show. If this episode made you think of someone while you were listening, forward the link onto that person with a little note about why it made you think of them, because the greatest gift you can give another human is to see the beauty and purity of who they truly are. Until next time, stay curious.